We all know the story at the beginning of our Parashah. Abraham Avinu is in pain. He's an old man. He's sitting by his tent. Very hot day, that Hashem made it very hot that day. So nobody would come visit him, so he could take it easy. Hashem comes to visit him. The pasuk says, Vayeira elav Adonai. Hashem came to him, he appeared to him. We don't find here that Hashem commanded him anything. What was the purpose of this appearance? It was strictly to visit someone who is not well. Bikur Holim. Actually, from here we learn, just like Hashem visited those who are sick, there is a mitzvah to visit people who are not well. Getting a visit from the Creator of the world must be an amazing experience. That Abraham Avinu was zocheh to. And in the middle of all of this, while God is talking to him, Hashem does a miraculous act, and he sends Abraham Avinu 3 angels. But they did not appear like angels in the eyes of Abraham. In fact, they appeared like regular people. And of course, Abraham Avinu, waiting for people to bring into his home, he runs, a 99-year-old man, running to beg his people, his guests, to come in. Even though he was talking to Hashem, he left God and he went to do the mitzvah of achnasat orchim. The question is, a few questions actually. How did Abraham know? Question 1. How did Abraham know that you're supposed to do that? When we do things in life, we learn it from someone. We learn it from Shulchan Aruch. We learn it from our customs, from our parents, from our grandparents. How did Abraham know that if Hashem is talking to you, and you have a mitzvah to do of achnasat orchim, how did he know that you're supposed to go and do the mitzvah and leave God? That's a very big move. Could you imagine right now, you're meeting with the most important person in the world? Nobody has such an opportunity, and you're meeting with such an important human being, and some strangers are walking by your house and you say, I'm sorry, I have to leave you now. I need to take care of these strangers. That's a very big move. I think if I would see you do that, I would say, hey, you're a little bit crazy. Abraham was talking to God and he leaves to go tend to strangers. How did he know that you're supposed to do that. It's true, our rabbis tell us, from here you see that the mitzvah of Achnasat Orhim is greater than talking to God. It's a greater experience. But how did Abraham know that? How did he know that he's supposed to leave God to go and take care of these strangers? That's question number one. Question number two. Why is it that Abraham is in pain when nobody's coming to visit? I ask you a question. Imagine you're running an organization in Brooklyn, New York. The purpose of this organization is to feed all the poor people in our community. There are people in the community who don't have food. They open their refrigerators and there's nothing in there. Not one or two, there are a lot of people like that. So you open an organization, you work very hard, then you're going to make sure you're going to feed everybody. Whoever needs food, you're going to give them. It's a very worthy cause. So you finally get this place up and running. Comes the first day, opening day, and you're waiting for customers to come. Or the entire community heard about this organization. Everyone knows about it. You open up day number one, nobody shows up. No one comes to food. You have plenty of food, ready to serve. No one comes. Day number two, nobody comes. You're open for a week, nobody comes. No one shows up. Now you know everyone knows about it. So you start doing a little research. And guess what happens? Guess what they say? It's amazing. Nobody in this community needs food. Everyone has food. Baruch Hashem. Now, if you were an honest person who was doing this to help people, would you feel bad? Of course not. Why would you feel bad? I was only trying to help them because they needed food. But if they could have their own food without me giving them, so what's there to feel bad about? If you feel bad, there's something wrong. What are you feeling bad? What's better, to have my own food or to have someone give it to me? To have my own food. So if people are enjoying their own food and taking care of themselves, why do you feel bad about that? Why does Abraham Avinu feel bad when there are no people that need his house? If nobody needs your house, that means wherever they are, they're comfortable. So what's there to feel bad about? That's question number two. Question number three. Nothing happens just by coincidence. It sounds and it seems from the Parshat that Hashem set this up. This was not just happened to be that he was talking to Hashem and then the Malachim came. Hashem could have left and then brought the Malachim. But Hashem set this up. Hashem set it up in a way that Abraham would have to decide. He would have to make a choice. Just like in our lives, constantly, all day long, we're making decisions. And Hashem sets up our life every day with many decisions. Who are you going to talk to? Who are you not going to talk to? Are you going to go here? You're not going to go here. What are you going to do now? All day long, we have decisions. And most of those situations just come upon us. And we have to make the right choice. That means Abraham Avinu was kind of set up. Hashem was talking to him. Simultaneously, he sends the angels. And this was a test for Abraham Avinu. Let me see, Abraham. Let me see what you're going to do. Are you going to sit and talk to me now? Or are you going to go take care of those people? let me see if you know what the right choice is. How did God expect them to know the right choice? And the last question for today. If the purpose of God sending these angels is to give Abraham an opportunity to help somebody because he was so hungry for it. Why send angels? The last choice would be sending an angel. Better to send an animal. At least an animal needs to eat. Angels don't eat. They don't need food. So if the purpose is to give Abraham an opportunity to help somebody, so why not help somebody? Why did God send someone who really doesn't need help? This whole story with Abraham running and cooking, and at the end of the day, really, honestly speaking, none of the food was used. It's all a waste of time. Because these people don't eat. Why did God make it like that? I have a much simpler solution. How come there were no people out? Because it was hot. So all God had to do, cool it down. If you cooled it down, people would naturally start traveling. And naturally, like every day, people would come. And then Abraham would do real kindness, real hesed. Hesed that's needed. Why would God set it up in a way that Abraham's kindness, and the one, by the way, if someone would tell you, where do we see kindness in the Torah? We know the Jewish people, we are known for kindness. It's in our blood. We are known to help not only each other, we help humanity. The Jewish people in the world are known to be philanthropists, ba'alei tzedakah. Hospitals are built by Jews. The percentage of charity given in this country of Jews is something that's startling, amazing. And if someone says to you, where did we learn this from? This would be the parasha. Look at Abraham Avinu. Look what Abraham did. So this is the highlight parasha of Hesed. And when you look into it, you see that the highlight of Hesed was done with people who don't need Hesed. That's a big question. So 4 questions. How did Abraham know that he's supposed to run after guests, even when you're in pain? Strangers. How did he know that? Question number 2. Why is he in pain if nobody needs him? Question number 3. How did he know how to make the right choice? And question number 4. Why did God make it that the people who came to him could not actually enjoy his kindness? So we need to remember that Abraham Avinu was a man who will call it was self-made. He was able to study the world without a rabbi, without a yeshiva, without any education like you and I have. And he was able to understand that there was a creator in the world. He was able to understand not only there's a creator, but what he was all about. And he was able even to understand what our purpose in life is. It's a big conversation, not for today's class. If there's one thing we know about the creator of the world, all of us know, everybody here knows, one simple piece of information is that none of us made ourselves, and none of us can make anything from nothing. When we make things in this world, we only take raw material and we're able to produce from that something that we need. But nobody here, and you've never seen and you'll never see, anyone making something from nothing. Not possible for a human. So it's clear to us that we didn't make ourselves, we didn't make this world, we didn't make anything. The creator of the world is known to us, perhaps in the biggest way, as a giver. How do we know God? We don't see him. But one thing we know is he gave us our body. I didn't give me my body. My parents didn't give me my body. And if, God forbid, I lose a finger, I can't get it back. With all the technology and all the medicine and all the hospitals, if, God forbid, you lose a finger, you don't get it back. You lose an eye, you don't get it back. So not only that I didn't make myself, I don't even have the ability to replace any part. God forbid a person has issue with his nails. He can't get nails. As simple as nails look to you, you can't get them. You can't make them. If, God forbid, a guy is losing his hair, can't get it back. So they have today all kinds of surgeries. They try to get it back, but you can't do it the same. A guy loses his hearing, can't get it back. We can't give anything to ourselves that we have. So who gave this to us? There's a creator in this world who gave me this. And I have pleasures in this world. You have pleasure in this world. When I see myself eating lunch, I enjoy it. You eat lunch, you enjoy it. Who gave me that pleasure? In order to enjoy lunch, you have to have a mouth. You have to have teeth. You have to have a tongue. You have to have ability to taste. You have to have a working system in your body. God forbid, go into a hospital to visit for a few hours and you'll see all types of people that one thing is wrong and they can't enjoy a simple lunch. They can't enjoy pizza. They can't enjoy sushi. They can't enjoy a drink. Because one thing is wrong. I once met a person who had a loss of ability to produce saliva. You can make saliva. You have saliva in your mouth. I have saliva in my mouth. He couldn't make saliva. He had some medical issue. You know what happens if you don't have saliva in your mouth? You basically can't eat. You can't eat because the food can't go down. It's like putting a food in a dry spot. It just stays where it is. You choke. You know how many small little things are required in order for us to eat lunch and enjoy it? Hashem gave us so many faculties. And Baruch Hashem, for most of us, they're all running pretty well. And none of them we could make. And none of them we could replace. And God forbid we should lose any one of them, because we'll never be able to enjoy that same lunch again. So who gave it to us? The creator of the world gave us the ability to enjoy food. And he also gave us the food. He gave us fruits. He gave us vegetables. He gave us meat. He gave us salt. He gave us sugar. He gave us all different spices. We sit down for lunch or dinner and we have many options. Each one with a different taste and a different color. You go to the fruit store, you're stunned. You like sour, you like sweet, you like soft, you like hard, whatever you like. Go into a fruit store. Every color you could imagine. every taste that you could imagine, every texture that you could imagine. You could live in this world without apples. You know how many apples, how many types of apples there are? In this country alone, they grow close to 1,000 different kinds of apples. There are different variations of apples, each one a little different. We could live without apples. Nobody here would die without oranges. We could survive without salt. We don't need to have spices on our pasta. We could eat plain pasta. We could live. We could eat bread every day. Bread and water. You need to have also juices. Also wine. You could survive. I could survive without it. So why did God give us all that? For what reason? We don't need it to survive. Abraham Avinu asked these simple, obvious questions. Who made me? Why did he give me this? Why do I need so many variations of food? Who's given me all my pleasures? Every pleasure you ever had, it's only because God gave you the chance and the ability to enjoy it. Just remember that. Because if one thing was taken away, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Why did God give me all this? Did I pay him for it? Can I pay him for it? The answer obviously is no. So why? Why did the creator of the world give me and you all of the things that we have? Everybody here has to ask that question. This is not a very deep question. And I know your mind is probably busy with a million other things. But let me tell you something. This is like an ABC question. Ask yourself, who made me? Why is he giving me all this? Did I give him something? And with a clear mind, every one of us will come to the realization that, hey, there's a creator who likes and wants to do good. He just wants me to enjoy my life. Why else would he give me apples? Why else would he give me bananas? Why? Because he wants me to enjoy life. Oh, I have some difficulties in my life. So why is that happening to me? That's a different question. It's a different subject. That too we need to deal with. But look at how much good everybody has. For free. Abraham Avinu looked at the world that he's in and understood, if there's one thing I can know about my Creator, the one who made me, if there's one thing I can know about it, is that he wants me to enjoy, and he gives me things to enjoy my life. Hashem is a Baal Hesed. And that's why I have so much. But let me tell you something. God's kindness is different than the kindness we see in this world. In this world, when you see someone doing for someone else, why? How come somebody is giving somebody else money? Because that person is missing. How come somebody's feeding another person? Because that person is hungry. But God's kindness is not like that. Because let me tell you something. We were not here before he made us. So we didn't need anything. We didn't need anybody. So why did God make us? We weren't missing anything. He made us. Because God's kindness is not about us missing. It's about him wanting to give. And that's a very big difference in how you look at kindness. Kindness is not about the person that you're helping. It's about you. That you need to help people. Because if you don't help people, then you're a very small person. We think, oh, somebody needs us, so Hazi, let me help him. No. That's not God's chesed. If God's chesed was based on somebody needing him, then there will be no creation. Because we never needed him. We never existed. He made us. And he made us missing so he could give us. Which means chesed is not about the person that you are giving to. God can take care of that person. God doesn't need partners in life. He can give poor people money and hungry people food. He doesn't need our help. Kindness is for us. When you see an opportunity of kindness, you run on it. You run quickly to get it. Because that's going to be your success in life. Because our purpose and our mission in life is one. We have one mission in life. All of us. One mission. And that is to be like Hashem. To be compassionate like Hashem. To be honest like Hashem. And one of the midot of Hashem is Rav Hesed. Hashem is kind. When you leave this world, and I leave this world, that's the one sticker that we need. It says, this man was a giver. When we're born, every one of you here, every one of us, when we're born, we're all selfish. Look at a little baby, a 1-year-old child, a 2-year-old. Everything is mine. That toy's been in the house before he was born, but somehow it became his. The food is mine, your time is mine. I don't care, mommy, that you haven't slept for 48 hours. I don't care. Right now, I want to eat. Because the world's about me. And you can only help me. And that's all I need you for. Every one of us was like that. And as we get older and we become greater, we start thinking about other people. And that's where the difference of being katan, being small, and being gadol, great, comes. Right now you guys are in a transformation period, hopefully. You could stay selfish the rest of your life. You could think about yourself the rest of your life. And you could live a very small life. But at some point you start realizing, wait a second. There are people around me. I have parents around me. I have a mother or father or both that could use my help and can use my encouragement. I have friends in my classroom. I have a rabbi that I could say Shabbat Shalom to. I have a person I could send a message today before Shabbat that I could say Shabbat Shalom. I really appreciate you. I have the ability to affect people around me. People like to be noticed. People need money, people need food, and people need respect. And respect is perhaps more important than the first two. We're starving for respect. We're starving for recognition. You come afterwards and say, thank you, Rabbi, that was great. I really appreciated your words. You really helped me. You know how that makes me feel? It makes me feel good. You guys can do that. You can affect my life. You can help me be better. It's in your hand to be a gadol, to be great. Or you could choose to use your life to be selfish and everything's about you. And if you do that, then good luck. Because a selfish person is a miserable person. A selfish person gets nothing out of this world. In fact, our rabbis tell us that there are 4 people in life that are considered dead. You might as well say they're dead. They're not dead. That's like they're dead. Who are these 4 people? One is Ani. Poor person. It's not his fault. He's a poor person. Person who has leprosy. Metzora. Suma. A blind person. Umi she'en lo banim. Someone who has no children. What about these people? What is it about these people that make them dead? Hazid, the guy is poor, so he's dead. The guy has no children, God didn't bless him with children, so he's dead. We're not faulting him that he's dead. We're just describing a reality. If you see someone dead, you say he's dead. Is that his fault? He's dead. These people are dead. Why are they dead? The answer is because they don't give. Because they can't give. They don't have money to give. They don't have children to give to. The guy is Sara'at, is outside the camp. A blind person can't give others. He can't see the need of others. So our rabbis say he's like a dead person. Because to be alive means to give. To be alive means to do for others. That's how Abraham Avinu knew that when you see guests, you run after them. Because your greatness in life depends on what you do for other people. And so long as you're living your life not doing for others, your life is as good as dead. That's right. If you're thinking all day about yourself and yourself only, you're as good as dead. You're taking nothing from this world. Nothing with you. And you're not going to enjoy your life in this world either. That's why Abraham Avinu ran after guests. And that's why when there were no guests around, he was in pain. Because Abraham Avinu's chesed was not because someone needed me, so I have to help him. It's not, oh, Hazit, I have to help him, he needs me. That's not what it was about. Abraham Avinu understood that to be anything in this life, you have to be like God, which means you have to do chesed. So if there's no one to do chesed to, you feel bad about yourself. How can I live a world without doing for someone else? How can I make it if I'm living only with myself? Abraham Avinu couldn't go a day without helping people. He was in pain because he was missing chesed, because God's chesed is based on himself, not about somebody else's needs. How did he know to leave God? How did God expect him to know that? Very simple. Because there's one thing greater than talking to God. There's something greater than that. That's being like God. To be like God, there's nothing greater in life. To be godly, to be like Hashem, it's greater than talking to Him. You have kavod, you're talking to me? That's a great honor that you give me by talking to me. You say, I want to be like you? There's no greater respect. There's no greater honor for God than someone who says, Borei Olam, hold on, I'm talking to you. 1 second, I want to be like you. Hold on, I want to be just like you. Why did God send angels? Why not humans who actually could use His chesed? This is the first place of real chesed that we see by a great man. Why not send regular people? The answer very simple. Because God wanted to highlight for us that when you do kindness, it's not for Him. Look at the first place of chesed in the Torah. It's people who didn't use it. It's people who really didn't need it. Because it's not about that person. It's about you. The chesed is about you giving. It's not about him taking from you. That's not what's important to you. You need to give. You need to be a gadol. I'll just end off by telling you the story of a man who was a Holocaust survivor. He became a very, very wealthy man. Built one of the biggest companies in the world. We actually had a documentary that we showed here a few years ago about his life. Maybe boys who are seniors can remember. And he went back in his old age to his old country to take a tour of where he used to live. And they took a video, and in one of the scenes they showed, he says, "You see that balcony?" He says, "That balcony, me and my grandmother are hiding out from the Nazis in Mashamam when I was a little boy. When they were coming in town and taking any Jew they could find, they took my cousins, they took my parents. I was hiding in that balcony with my grandmother." He said, "I remember my grandmother told me one thing. She told me, Felix," that was his name, Felix Sandsman. She says, "Felix, remember one thing. They could take away your money. They could take away your family. They could take away your life. But there's something that nobody can ever take away from you. And that's what you do for other people. What you do and what you give to others, nobody could ever take that from you. That's yours, and that's yours forever. And that's the sign of greatness. When you become a doer for other people, we could all do it. It's a gift, it's a nice word, it's a smile, it's a text message. Shabbat Shalom to someone that might need it and might enjoy it. I enjoy it, you enjoy it. It's having an eye that's open and seeing the needs of others. This is the greatness of mankind. Nobody can take it from you. Stop thinking about yourself so much. You could think about yourself, but give time every day. Make sure you're doing for other people. Shabbat Shalom.